Saturday, September 7th. Hermann Göring travels by his train Asia to Calais to personally direct air operations against Britain from his command post on the north coast of France. With Hitler's agreement, daytime attacks are replaced by nighttime raids, and the bombing of the airfields of Kent and Sussex is abandoned. The Luftwaffe now focuses on the saturation bombing of the British capital. In what will be called the London Blitz, consecutive waves of Heinkel 111, Dornier, and Junkers dropped their incendiary bombs over the Thames docklands. Churchill's government decrees Cromwell alert, signifying the possibility of invasion in the following 24 hours. But the British air commanders remain undaunted, and RAF planes attack military targets in the north of Germany and France, as well as the industrial areas of Turin in northeast Italy. In Rome, a treaty is signed between the Romanian and Bulgarian governments. Romania cedes to Bulgaria southern Dobruja. King Carol goes into exile in Switzerland. In the United States, the House of Representatives votes in favor of a conscription bill, which authorizes the federal government to militarize the industries working for national defense. In the Mediterranean theater, Italian planes bomb the oil fields of Haifa in Palestine, while in Egypt, they attack the railway linking Alexandria with Marsa Matruh. In the naval war, U-47, commanded by Gunther Prien, sinks the Norwegian merchant ship Gro, the British José de Larrinaga, and the Neptunian. In the course of the year, 4 million tons of gross register tonnage in Allied shipping have been destroyed by the Germans. Sunday, September 8th. The Luftwaffe carries out daytime raids on different parts of Britain, but the German strategy has changed, and the most intense attacks take place during the night against large cities. London, the main target, suffers 10 hours of uninterrupted bombing by German planes, which drop incendiary bombs that set alight and destroy part of the city. Panic-stricken Londoners take refuge in shelters. From this day onwards, the British capital will be bombed relentlessly by waves of more than 200 bombers on 57 consecutive nights. The RAF planes have momentarily disappeared from the skies over London. Lieutenant General Frederick Alfred Pyle, in charge of the city's anti-aircraft defenses, doubles the number of artillery batteries. The British commanders are taking advantage of the German change of strategy to repair their battered air infrastructure, and the responsibility of defense now falls on land defenses. Dover is once again shelled from the coasts of northern Europe. The British government is convinced that the German invasion is imminent, and Winston Churchill moves to an air raid shelter on the outskirts of London. RAF bombers attack Hamburg, the Krupp factories in Essen, fuel deposits in the Black Forest, and several airfields in Belgium, Holland, and France. Monday, September 9th. In Berlin, Hitler meets with Admiral Erich Raeder, Commander-in-Chief of the Kriegsmarine. He agrees with Raeder that if the Luftwaffe are unable to overcome the RAF, German landings in Britain will not take place due to the risks involved. General Wolfram Freiherr von Richthofen, commander of the Luftwaffe 7th Corps, flies to Spain to meet with General Franco. He intends to try to persuade the Spanish leader to support Operation Felix, the occupation of Gibraltar. German planes continue to bomb London. The increased number of anti-aircraft batteries and the arrival of British fighter squadrons turn the skies over the city into an inferno. 200 RAF planes face more than 400 Luftwaffe aircraft, which come in wave after wave. The Germans lose 88 planes and the British 21. King George VI visits the neighborhoods which have been hardest hit to help raise people's morale. The British Admiralty orders some of its submarine flotillas to move to the Mediterranean to operate against the ships supplying enemy troops in North Africa. Meanwhile, the planes of the Regia Aeronautica attack Poma and Port Sudan, the port of Aden and the oil fields of Haifa in Palestine, and the port of Alexandria in Egypt. The British focus their air actions on Mogadishu and Berbera in Somalia and Massawa in Eritrea. In the Sea War, U-28, commanded by Günter Kuhnke, sinks the British ship Mardinian, while Günter Prien's U-47 destroys the Greek vessel Poseidon. Tuesday, September 10th. Luftwaffe planes bomb London for 9 hours non-stop. British anti-aircraft batteries keep up a deafening barrage as searchlights light up the skies looking for enemy aircraft. The British capital presents an apocalyptic scene with numerous fires raging and buildings destroyed. In his office in Berlin, Hitler remains skeptical about Hermann Göring's claim that the bombing will end up forcing Churchill to come to the negotiating table. The fierce resistance of the RAF pilots leads German commanders to suggest yet another postponement of Operation Sea Lion. The British War Cabinet authorizes bombers raiding Germany to drop all their explosives, even if they are unable to locate their targets. The air war is total. British planes attack the fuel storage facilities at Dolvik in Norway and different military targets belonging to the Wehrmacht in the country. In raids over Germany, they bomb several cities, including Berlin, where a bomb falls in the garden of Joseph Goebbels' house. Military installations in Holland, the port of Ostende in Belgium, Calais, Boulogne, and the artillery batteries of Grise-Nez-Cap in France are also hit by British bombers. In North Africa, Italian planes attack the British lines at Bir es Skederzen in Egypt, and in Kenya, they bomb military objectives in Bura, near River Tana. For its part, the RAF bombs Italian bases in Cyrenaica, Libya, and those of Massaua and Asmara in Eritrea. Wednesday, September 11th. In London, the Prime Minister, Winston Churchill, says on the radio that he is convinced the Germans are preparing an imminent invasion of the island. From the ports of Northern Europe, they are organizing the conquest of the country, he says, adding that Hitler has failed in his bid to control British airspace. If Hitler persists in his plans, Churchill declares, he will lose a large part of his air force, which would be a great advantage for Britain. He concludes by saying that the British people will not give up the fight until the last trace of the Nazi regime has been wiped out. During the Luftwaffe's bombing of London, the Palace is hit. The city of Dover suffers the heaviest attack to date, simultaneously hit by enemy planes and long-range artillery based on the coasts of Northern Europe. Meanwhile, the RAF bombs the heart of Berlin, hitting the Reichstag and the Brandenburg Gate. Further raids are carried out against the railway station at Potsdam, the aeronautic industries of Bremen, and the naval base at Wilhelmshaven. The former French Minister of Home Affairs, Georges Mandel, is detained in Africa and taken to the castle of Chazeron near Riom in France, where Daladier, Renault, and General Gamelin are already imprisoned. On the African front, the Italian Air Force carries out raids against British military installations in Sollum, Sidi Barrani, and Mersa Matruh in the lead-up to an offensive in Egypt. In response, the RAF attacks Italian positions at Bardia, Tobruk, and Derna, in Libya, Desio in Ethiopia, and Massaua in Eritrea. Thursday, September 12th. British aircraft bomb Bremen, Hamburg, and Berlin's main airport. Meanwhile, the Germans continue their campaign of nighttime bombings against London and during the day attack Dover, Bristol, Liverpool, and Swansea. The British government orders all commercial establishments to close at 4 p.m. and entertainment shows are prohibited after 9 at night. Ministries and government organizations move to underground shelters. Public transport is suspended for some hours and working hours are limited. Beds are installed in air raid shelters while thousands of women and children leave London for safer locations in the north of the country. In the United States, President Roosevelt declares in his first election campaign speech that America will not participate in distant foreign wars, except in the case of an act of aggression against the country. In Africa, the Regia Aeronautica bombs the railway infrastructure of the Egyptian coast and the British lines of Salem and Sidi Barrani, and in the Sudan, the city of Khartoum is targeted. For their part, the British send planes against Italian targets in Derna, the capital of Cyrenaica in Libya, while several infantry companies attack the Italian garrison at Kassala in Sudan. In the Battle of the Atlantic, U-28, commanded by Gunter Kuhnke, sinks the British freighter Harpenden and the Dutch ship Maas, while torpedoes from U-99 destroy the Albion